recently ordered from B&H Photo out of New York a network attached storage unit. I went with a Thecus N5550, which is newer dual-core Atom CPU unit. It has 5 hard drive bays in it. So I went ahead and ordered it from them a couple days ago. It just arrived, and I ordered also 5 4 terabyte drives to go along with it. So I'm pretty excited about seeing what this is all about. So let's go ahead and open this up. Air cushion stuff. Order sheet. Oh, here's a Thecus. This is a heavy guy too. N5550. As you can see, judging by the box itself, it ships in. It's not a very big unit. The actual unit itself is about maybe 9 or 10 inch cube, so it's not a very big guy. It's got a front door and a front open up, and it's got 5 hotspot bays on it, so I'm pretty excited about that. And also to go along with it, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 4 terabyte Hitachi Coolspan SATA 3 drives. 32 meg cache. These are, I believe, 5400 RPM drives, which should be more than sufficient for a network attached storage. They should stay cool, quiet. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what that's all about now. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside the box. Power cord, phone. We have a user manual with, looks like, some software. I believe this includes some Windows or PC software like Cronus True Image, along with a few other various pieces of software, but that's mostly for PC users who might want to run some software to back up from their PC over to the NAS. Since I'm on the Mac, I'm not really concerned about that. Also has a blue Ethernet cable. Also has some screws, which I presume are for the drives to go in the trays, and then some keys, so you can probably lock the door in the front of it. And then the unit itself, which is actually pretty heavy. Maybe we can get out of plastic. It's like Christmas morning. Alright, starting around the front, we have down the bottom of the LCD display, which you can't see right now because it's not powered up, but there's an LCD display along with 4 buttons to control some basic functionality from the front of the unit. There's also a soft touch door in the front, which when open up you get the power button, USB, along with some drive indicator lights, and then you have the hotspot bays. There's 5 of these bad boys. That's cool. Lock in. The sides, just some perforations for venting, otherwise nothing. And on the back we have, this is kind of strange, but it has audio out along with HDMI and VGA. Most network attached storages don't include it because they're designed to be just attached to the network and managed via web browser. But this unit actually has these because you can also run some software on the unit and use it like a media center, kind of like Xbox Media Center, XBMC. Might check that out, don't know. On the back it also has 2 USB 2, an eSATA for extra storage, 2 more USB 2s, and dual Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. I believe this unit you can also run link aggregation, so if you have a proper switch and network setup, you can actually run dual gigabit lines to it for heavier workloads. Most home users aren't going to take advantage of that, but it's there. 120 millimeter cooling fan, and then what looks like a smaller internal power supply, kind of like a 1U, small 1U flex style power supply. Cooling fan, standard IEC, AC cord, and then power switch. All in all, as you can see, it's not a very big unit. It's pretty small. Here's a 13-inch MacBook Air sitting on top of it to give you an idea of the size of this thing. It's not very big at all. Kind of like two small shoe boxes stacked on top of each other. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Looks nice. I like the way this. I like the front of it with the drive bays, and it's pretty cool. Check out a little further. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but the Thecus N5550 runs embedded Linux. That's the basis OS, and it's going to have a graphical interface over the web browser, which is where you manage the unit at. And since you have so many drives in it, you of course are going to have multiple RAID levels. This unit supports RAID 0, RAID 1, 5, 6, 10, and just a bunch of disks mode, where each individual drive is its individual drive. It's not combined into any storage volumes or storage pools. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can start popping some of these drives in. I went ahead and unboxed all the 4 terabyte rather, I wish it were 5, 4 terabyte Hitachi Desktop Coolspin drives. So let's go ahead and take a look, see what this is like. Okay, let's go ahead and pop open the door here and start populating some of these drive trays. I'll just go ahead and start with the bottom one here, pull it out, and go ahead and put the first drive in there. Alright, let's go ahead and pop the first one in there. Pretty easy. Looks like a couple screws go in the bottom. Yeah, 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4 go in the bottom. Let's go ahead and get those. I can already tell you one thing I don't really care for is the screws. I know some of these units actually use a mounting system where they don't have to be physically attached to a unit. It just either slides into the mechanism as a raw drive, or the drive just maybe has some sort of rubber or plastic mounts that go on the side of it, and that just attaches it to the sled, so it doesn't actually have to be screwed in. It makes swapping drives a little easier, but I guess beggars can't be choosers for this kind of unit. So let's go ahead and pop this first drive in. Yeah, that's pretty nice, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead and do the rest of the drives. One thing I did notice on the bottom of the tray when mounting the drives is not only does it have mounting spots for 3.5 inch marked, it also has mounting spots for 2.5 inch drives. So if you have laptop drives, or I guess also solid state drives, you can easily fit those in these trays too. You don't need to use any adapters or buy a different enclosure. If you want to use some low power 2.5 inch or solid state drives, it's out of the box. It's time to go ahead and accept those. So let's go ahead and put this last drive in and lock it up. 20 terabytes in a small single chassis. Okay, and I've got the unit powered on now. Looks like all the stats lights are lit blue, so it looks like it's good to go. You probably can't see on the LCD screen down there, but it goes through giving you some information, like telling you what RAID level, the host name of the unit, IP address, link aggregation is enabled, basically a bunch of stats that are useful. System fan level, daytime, yeah, lots of good information in there. Okay, I've went ahead and set up the NAS using the included CD. There actually is a CD included in there you need to use. It's a setup CD, which basically has an application you can install on either a PC, Windows PC, or Mac that just finds the NAS and allows you to either launch the browser directly from there. That way, if you don't know the IP address of it handy, or make actual changes to the NAS without having to connect to the web interface. For my configuration, I had to actually go and make a change to the IP address. So in my case, by default, it defaults to 192.168.1.100, which for my network's not proper. It's not the proper subnet. Mine's a .0 subnet. So I went ahead and just made some changes and updated the IP address to something I'm happy with. From here, you get a basic screen, a basic log-on screen. I'm going to go ahead and click admin. The default username is admin by default. The password by default is also admin. I went ahead and changed mine. I'm just going to go ahead and punch mine in real quick. Okay, yada yada yada. Yeah, we agree. Alright, we're in. Let's see here. Looks like we got tons of options. iTunes server, we can set up shared folders, RAID management, general notifications, schedule tasks, I guess, system log, FTP, iSCSI, disk information, status. Let's go to disk information, see if we have anything in there. Actually, looks like it does say total capacity, but oh, there we go. Yeah, it detects all 5 drives. Total unformatted capacity of 18,630 gigabytes, so 18.5 terabytes unformatted. So yeah, looks like we're pretty set here. It's recognizing all the drives. I'll have to play with this a bit, but yeah, looks like it's gonna recognize all the drives. So I'll maybe update this later once I've had a chance to play around with it.